Welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu appoints Ismail Youssef as new NACON chairman. Inec to involve Efcc, Icpc to track vote buying. Plus, U.S. House overturned Trump's Canada tariff in rare bipartisan rebuke. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in just a moment. Please stay tuned. Many thanks for staying tuned. This is Spectrum News at 10, and we begin the news from the national scene where President Bola Tinubu has appointed Ambassador Ismail Youssef as the new chairman and CEO of the National Hajj Commission, NACON. Disclosing this in a statement, the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the appointment is subject to the Senate approval in accordance with the provisions of Section 3, Subsection 2 of the NACON Act 2026. Youssef is a seasoned Nigerian career diplomat who served as the Nigerian Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Turkey from 2021 to 2024. Meanwhile, the Kebbi state government has called on residents of the state to accord President Bola Tinubu a warm and rousing welcome as he arrives on a state visit on Saturday, February 14, 2026. President Tinubu is expected to commission several major people-oriented projects executed by the administration of Governor Nasser Idris during the visit. The president will also attend the opening of the 61st Agugun International Fishing and Cultural Festival, one of Nigeria's most celebrated cultural events, which kicks off today. On electoral matters, Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman Professor Josh Amiputong has urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission (ICPC), and the police to stay alert to avert vote buying and vote trading in the country. Amiputong spoke when he hosted a delegation from the National Peace Committee in the office yesterday in Abuja. The Inec chairman reaffirmed the Commission's resolve to curb the menace, saying relevant law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies had been placed on alert to play their role. Amiputong promised that Inec would take immediate steps to act on security intelligence and risk assessment presented to it by the National Peace Committee ahead of February 21 Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections. On judiciary, the Federal High Court in Lagos has convicted and sentenced two Chinese nationals and directors of Genting International Co. Limited, Hainu Hayu, also known as Kane, and Hongzhu, to 46 years imprisonment each for the roles in the multi-billion naira cybercrime and money laundering scheme. Justice Daniel Osiago, who delivered the judgment, gave the convict an option of a 56 million fine. He also ordered them to undertake 3 days of community service and directed that they be repatriated to China after serving their sentences and completing the service. The two were among 792 suspected internet and cyber and cryptocurrency fraud suspects arrested by the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Lagos in December 2024. However, a third defendant, Aundu Friday, pleaded not guilty and will stand trial. Away from that, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has rescued and repatriated 23 Nigerian youth trafficked to Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries for forced cybercrime, raising fresh alarm over what is described as a dangerous new dimension in human trafficking. The repatriated youth were allegedly deceived with promises of scholarships and lucrative jobs, only to be trafficked to Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia, where they were forced to engage in romance scams, cryptocurrency fraud, and fake investment schemes. The agency revealed that during interactions with the rescued youth, they disclosed that they were forced to defraud individuals and organizations in the United States, United Kingdom, Ethiopia, and Canada through various forms of online deceptions. They further revealed that those who refused to do the biddings of the traffickers were allegedly tortured to death inside a horror chamber called the Dark Room, while others had their organs harvested, especially the young ones with no history of smoking. We move now to Africa, where President Cyril Ramaphosa has marked 36 years since Nelson Mandela's release from prison by launching a new training academy at the Darkenstein Correctional Facility, where the former president was once held. The Nelson Mandela Rules Training Academy is the first facility in Africa dedicated exclusively to the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the treatment of prisoners, widely known as the Nelson Mandela Rules. The guidelines promote dignity, fairness, and humane treatment for people deprived of their liberty. Jane Mario, regional representative of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, said Mandela's legacy continues to shape global standards. She said Nelson Mandela himself spent more than 27 years in prison, and throughout his life, he remained such a powerful advocate for fairness, justice, and humane treatment of all people. Ramaphosa described the academy as a knowledge hub not only for South Africans, but for the wider Southern African region and the global correctional community. Still in Africa, Libya granted several foreign companies new oil exploration and production licenses for the first time in 17 years on Wednesday, after more than a decade of political instability. With oil and gas production and exports at their strongest since 2011, the North African country is seeking to draw major global energy companies back. But its oil industry has faced significant challenges since a NATO-backed revolt to topple and kill long-term leader Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, where the country is still divided between rival authorities. On the foreign scene, the U.S. House voted 219 to 211 on Wednesday to challenge President Donald Trump's tariff on Canada, with several Republicans joining Democrats in a rare rebuke of his trade policy. The largely symbolic measure seeks to end the national emergency underpinning the tariff and now heads to the Senate. The tally 219 to 211 was among the first times the House, controlled by Republicans, has confronted the president over a signature policy and drew instant recrimination from President Trump himself. The resolution seeks to end the national emergency. Trump declared to impose the tariffs, though actually undoing the policy would require support from the president, which is highly unlikely. Meanwhile, Trump believes in the power of tariff to force U.S. trade partners to the negotiating table. But lawmakers are facing unrest back home, from businesses caught in the trade wars and constituents navigating pocketbook issues and high prices. Still on the foreign scene, a UK nursery worker will be sentenced today for years of child sexual abuse as the government considers making CCTV mandatory in nurseries after a string of similar cases. Vincent Chan, age 45, is facing 45 years in prison after he admitted to 56 counts of abuse, including molesting 4 girls aged 3 and 4 at a North London nursery between 2022 and 2024. The sentence is due to be handed down in Wood Green Crown Court in the British capital. Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Wednesday said the government was consulting on whether to make CCTV mandatory in nurseries, with multiple cases of abuse in UK childcare centres coming to light in recent years. Still to come in the news. Man City crushed Fulham, close in on Arsenal. Searching for details of this in just a moment.